Hi everybody, it's me again, East Coast Pete. My show Mid-Rock Crisis. No crisis here. Stevie Wonder needs no introduction from someone like me. One of the biggest stars the planet's ever known. I don't want to talk about him. Steve Land Hardaway Morris, born in 1950. He's an American singer-songwriter, musician, record producer from Detroit. He's a child prodigy known as Little Stevie Wonder. At age 11, he signed with Motown's Tamla label. In 1963, single Fingertips was a #1 U.S. chart topper when he was 13, the youngest artist ever to chart. His efforts would shape popular music from his initial impact to his later top-selling albums. 100 million albums sold, 25 Grammy Awards, and of course he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame naturally. Stevie Wonder began in Saginaw, Michigan. Family moved to Detroit when he was 4. He first sang at Whitestone Baptist Church. He learned to play piano, harmonica, and drums at a prodigal rate. In 1961, Stevie sang his own composition, Lonely Boy, to Ronnie White of the Miracles, and White took him and his mom to audition with Berry Gordy, where he was given his stage name. A contract stipulated that all royalties would be held until Stevie was 21. Both Stevie and Mom were put on salary at Tamla. A private tutor would accompany them on tours. The salary was ridiculously low, considering Stevie's subsequent value to the label both before and after he turned 21. His debut was a Ray Charles covers album with the first tribute to Uncle Ray. There was one Wonder composition, Sunset. The Jazz Soul of Little Stevie was next. An instrumental album, songs written by Clarence Paul, who also produced separately. Wonder recorded a single written by Berry Gordy, I Call It Pretty Music, but the old people call it the blues. 1962. It was just shy of the top 100 singles. And Fingertips was Wonder's first #1 on both U.S. and R&B charts. Stevie was now 14. His voice was changing, and the novelty was wearing off. He did appear in 2 films as himself, Muscle Beach Party and Bikini Beach. Uptight, Everything's All Right was next. He co-wrote Tears of a Clown. It's a #1 for Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. Between 68 and 70, the hit parade began. I Was Made to Love Her, For Once in My Life, Signed, Sealed, Delivered, I'm Yours, My Cherie Amour. Wonder grew from adolescent to young adult publicly through song, and his fans joined him in vast numbers. In 1970, Marvin Gaye's song What's Going On made Motown socially conscious. Wonder wanted to follow suit. He wanted his lyrics to mean something. relevant. So in 1971, at the age of 21, he let his Motown contract expire. And then in 1972, he signed a new Motown contract, which significantly raised his royalties. Music of My Mind was no collection of B-sides. It was a complete statement, a concept album. Social, political, and mystical themes, as well as romantic ones, flowed together. Wonder began overdubbing and recording much of the instruments himself. The next album, Talking Book, featured Superstition, which became a blockbuster hit. You Are the Sunshine of My Life. These are both #1 hits. And 1973 gave us Inner Visions. It's actually jazz, not soul. Here's the songs. #1, Too High. This is a perfect song. Shuffle beat with a bass lead. It's kind of sad because you're too high. Maybe like a bad trip. But that's not what the song is about. It's not happy and it's not angry. Some other emotion, like exhilaration, that female power over us all. And 2, Visions. The second perfect song, smooth, sad guitars, jazz chords, minor keys, very personal lyrics. Time passing is sad. Imagination versus reality. It's a social commentary about how reality sometimes sucks. Love lost, love now, but what about later? It's the great unknown. #3, Living in the City, most well-known track. It's pure urban politics, makes me angry. The city is a prison. Such a beautiful middle 8, though. A story with a sad end. Sort of like Porgy and Bess in a 5-minute song. #4, Golden Lady. The third perfect song. It's a piano song. It's warm jazz, conga drums. It's beyond psychedelic. His voice is flawless. His arrangement has it. I think Stevie Wonder might have invented it. Take me right away. And 5, Higher Ground. It's pure funk. Superstition with key changes. Sleepers, just stop sleeping. But he doesn't mean me, right? I need my 7 hours. Everyone keep on doing everything. #6, Jesus, Children of America. Is it about Jesus, freaks? Are you sincere? Or just here? The song's about religion. Talking the talk, but not walking the walk. It's an anti-dope theme. I like that. And you know I would. 7, All in Love is Fair. The 4th perfect song. It seems like a reprise. This whole album is a little sad. Till now. The song just cascades. The writer takes his pen to write the words again. Beautiful. #8, Don't You Worry About a Thing. Have a little fun. I speak very, very fluent Spanish. A new story leads into the fifth perfect song and the first unsad lyric on the album, Chevrolet. 9. He's Mr. Know-It-All. This is my favorite Stevie Wonder album, but this song seems like an add-on. Could be a Kia commercial, K-I-A, Know-It-All. Get me? In 1973, a single was made from new material written on tour, became the #1 single, You Haven't Done Nothing. And a double album and an EP, Songs in the Key of Life, went in 76, and Isn't She Lovely was written about his newborn daughter. In 1979, Stevie Wonder's Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants. The next decade would be even bigger than the 70s for Stevie. Hotter Than July became his first platinum album. #1, his Ebony and Ivory, co-written with Paul McCartney, was about racial harmony. I Just Called to Say I Love You was #1 in the US and the UK. Wonder would collaborate with Dionne Warwick. And turn the page. Thank you. Chaka Khan, The Eurythmics, Elton John, Bruce Springsteen, John Denver, Barbra Streisand, and Michael Jackson, often playing his signature sound harmonica. Of course, I mean Stevie Wonder's harmonica. Quick side story. I was at work in the old International Airport one night, just coming off my shift. It was an unusual night for me. For the other employees, on the way to the concourse, I saw 2 men walking briskly, but slow enough for me to see that one of these men was decked out like royalty from the subcontinent. He wore sunglasses, and he was Stevie Wonder. The hall was otherwise empty as I heard the clicking of their footsteps. Why was a large airport quiet and empty at 11 p.m. on a weeknight? Empty except for this VIP and his companion? Because, dear friends, President Obama's entourage had just set down on a commercial tarmac. That's Air Force One. Very soon, men and women of the Secret Service would be through to check every inch of where the president would walk, but Stevie Wonder was allowed to calmly walk to his departing flight. And I had to vamoose as well. A little later, the moment passed when President Obama changed plans and met his limos out by the jet and would be whisked away to a stump speech somewhere, never setting foot inside the airport. If he had, would he have taken a moment to say hello to Stevie? I could see that happening in my imagination as I climbed on my bike for the short exit to my complex. It was all very eerie. The next night, everything was back to normal. The concourse was crowded and noisy. The restaurants and bars were active, and people pulled their carry-ons like pets on a leash, like nothing had happened. That's a night at the airport. So, back to the narrative. Stevie recorded a soundtrack for Spike Lee's Jungle Fever film in 1991. Some of the tracks would appear on Nobody's Child. Romanian Angel Appeal, 2 more albums, Conversation Peace and Naturally Wonder were released in the 90s. Then another Spike Lee film, Bamboozled, saw 2 more Wonder tracks, Misrepresenting People and Some Years Ago. This is perhaps Spike Lee's most poignant story. If you haven't seen it, I recommend that you do. 2005 saw a Time and Love album. He would collaborate with Busta Rhymes, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Andrea Bocelli, and he played during the pregame show for Super Bowl XL, I guess that's Super Bowl 40, as well as the Obama inaugural celebration of 2009 and the opening ceremony of the 2011 Special Olympics in Greece. A Time in Love did not garner critical appeal or sales. Was Wonder done? No. He would again tour the world. He would sing at 3 funerals. That of Michael Jackson, Etta James, and Whitney Houston. 2 albums were completed, When the World Began and 10 Billion Hearts, but don't look for them. They were never released. 30 U.S. top 10 hits. There are very few awards that he didn't receive. Rolling Stone magazine named him the 9th greatest singer of all time. Who could possibly be ahead of Stevie Wonder? As I said, he's got 10 U.S. #1 hits. He is a transcendental meditator and a megastar, timeless, classically so. His music will never go out of style, ever. Thank you for being with me on my show. I believe that we can say that Stevie Wonder has saved rock. Everybody take real good care. I just love this guy.